Hello again and welcome back to another army showcase video, this time for my Warriors of Chaos army. This is one of my most recent armies that I started collecting in around May of last year. This was actually not an army that I had originally planned to collect. I typically prefer the armies of order, especially the human armies. Uh, but I did kind of figure like this. Warriors of Chaos is technically still a human army, especially if you go heavy on the warriors themselves and lots of marauders, which is what I've done here. And so I figured that I'm actually sticking pretty closely to my human-centric collection, doing a mainly Kurgan army. So I do not have a ton of monsters or mutated creatures, anything like that, but just good old-fashioned warriors of chaos and lots of marauders. And I also decided to start collecting this one back when the new Slaves to Darkness battle tome was leaked because it showcased new Chaos Warriors and new Chaos Knights and new Chosen. And I figured that it was very likely that these units were all gonna go out of production pretty soon, which they did. So I wouldn't really have that much time available to start collecting this army in the future. So if I wanted to have Wars of Chaos army, now would be the time to do it, especially considering that these units are actually priced really reasonably by Games Workshop standards. I mean, you can get 20 Marauders from Games Workshop today cheaper than you could get them 20 years ago. These are actually cheaper now because you get more of them in a box with barely any price increase, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, let's go through the units one by one. First up, we have a unit, or rather two chariots. These are the new 8th edition models in two different builds that were available. I had only planned to buy one, but then when I built it, I figured I would like to have use of all the different bits. So I bought a second one just so I can, have all the bits on them pretty much. Here we have a unit of Chaos Knights from 7th edition. Got one box of these and equipped them with hand weapons or ensorcelled weapons rather than the lances because there was simply more variety in the hand weapons rather than the lances. I think you had 7 or 8 different hand weapons and only 5 lances or something like that. So that's what I went with. Here we have a Chaos Lord on a Karkadrak from the Slaves of Darkness Start Collecting box, the old one. I'll guess this one will probably be played as a Chaos Lord on a Demonic Mount. Here we have the Start Collecting Chaos Knights from Age of Sigmar, along with the newly released Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount. I'm using these as Vanguard in the Warhammer Armies Project 9th edition rules. They are a bit too big to be ranked up like normal cavalry, but they are about the same size as Monstrous Cavalry. They are bigger than Demigryph Knights, for example. And the Chaos Lord itself is not that much bigger than the Chaos Knights, and he counts as Monstrous Cavalry, so might as well do the same with the Knights themselves. Here we have a Chaos Lord on a Manticore. This model is from Avatars of War. It's a 3D printed one. Very cool, lots of nice details, and it is quite superior to the Games Workshop plastic one. Here we have a unit of Marauders from 6th edition. The models themselves are metal, the horses are plastic. I originally bought these for my Dogs of War army to use as light cavalry, but then I bought my Warriors of Chaos army and I wanted to add some hobgoblins to my Dogs of War army, and then I figured I could just move these to the Warriors of Chaos army and make some space for the hobgoblins. Here we have some Marauder Hunters, that is Marauders armed with javelins and shields. This is a very simple conversion, simply using normal Marauders with the javelin arms from the Marauder Horsemen. Here we have some Chaos Marauders with flails. The champion is a limited edition Avatars of War model. Here we have some Avatars of War Marauders. These ones are used as elite Marauders in my Warriors of Chaos army. The models are made from PVC plastic, and the champion in the front rank is a metal Avatars of War model, which is being sold as a Barbarian Chieftain, but he was originally a limited edition champion when you bought the Marauders when he just came out. Here we have some more Marauders, this time with hand weapon and shield. I used some bits from the Marauder Horseman kit to make these ones. The champion is a limited edition Gamestay model from 2002, I think. We have Marauder Horsemen. These ones are also using bits from the normal Marauder box for the hand weapon and shields to give them some more variety and for making the champion stand out a bit more as well. Arm these ones with hand weapon and shield because that gave me the most amount of variety for the unit. Here we have some chosen. These are the older ones from 7th edition in Finecast. No bubbles, fortunately, but they did require a lot of cleanup, as Finecast models tend to do. These ones are out of production now, so I'm glad I picked them up while I still had the chance. Here we have some 6th edition Chaos Warriors with hand weapon and shield. They come in a box of 16, or they came in a box of 16 when they were still available. So I ended up buying 2 extra sprues to make a unit of 20. Here we have a unit of Chaos Warriors. These are the new ones from Age of Sigmar. That is to say, this is the new box of Chaos Warriors, plus the Start Collecting box, plus one of the Chaos Warriors from Kagra's Ravagers to make it until 21. They do not rank up very well, as you can see. I haven't really tried that hard to make them rank up. I just sort of put them like this for the photo, just to give them some sense of organization. But I mean, they're Chaos, so they don't really need to be that organized anyway, right? Here we have some more Chaos Warriors from 6th edition, armed with 2 hand weapons. Again, nothing special about these. Like I mentioned on the other Chaos Warrior unit, I bought an extra sprue to make another 4 models, so I have 20 total. Here we have the new Chosen from the Slaves of Darkness line. These ones, ironically enough, rank up much easier than the newer Chaos Warriors, despite these ones supposedly going on 40mm bases rather than 32mm bases. Really cool models, lots of detail, but not too difficult to paint actually. It was a fairly quick paint job. Here we have some Marauder Chieftains. These are all Avatars of War models. The left one and the right one are in metal, and the middle one is in resin, it's a 3D print. Here we have my Chaos Sorcerers. The left one is from the Kagra's Ravagers box, which was given the head of Kagra. The original head looks too mutated for my taste, so this one was an improvement. The middle guy is Sael the Faithless from Forge World, and the right guy is the 8th edition Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which also got a head swap because I didn't like the mutated head that it really came with. This head is instead from the champion from the warriors from the Start Collecting box from Age of Sigmar. Here are some special characters. We got Wulfric the Wanderer, who got black hair because he's a Kurgan now rather than a Norseman. There is Harald Hammerstorm, that is Harry the Hammer, who is also Kurgan in this army. And we have Crom the Conqueror, which is Kurgan by lore, so he fits perfectly. I painted all of them in a metallic color scheme, as you can see here, so they fit well with the rest of the army. And here we have Archaon, 2 versions of him, one on foot, which was a limited edition Gamestay model, and the mounted one, which I got recently when Games Workshop did a made-to-order run for them. Then to the right we have Cordel Shorgar, which is the limited edition Battlestar Bear from the Storm of Chaos box from 2003, which I got on eBay for a fairly hefty sum. I think it was like something like 40 euros, which is more than I would have liked, but he's a really rare model who is pretty hard to get, so considering the price, it was alright. Here we have some more Champions of Chaos, or Exalted Heroes, and a Chaos Lord. From the left we have the new Exalted Hero of Chaos, who is very, very big. Then we have the Chaos Lord from 8th edition, which got a head swap from the Chaos Chariot. I did not like the bear head. I want all my warriors to be covered up, if possible. And then we have the Gamestay model from 2010, limited edition. And a little funny note there, the Gamestay model and the new Exalted hero can be built to look nearly identical if you give the Exalted hero two axes rather than the sword and shield. I'm pretty sure it was an intentional decision by Games Workshop to actually make the model look like that. That's also the reason why I decided to build a new Exalted Hero with a sword and shield, because I didn't want to have an identical model to the Gamester model. Lastly, to the right, we have the old 6th edition Exalted Champion, Exalted Hero in Finecast. As you can see, there's quite a bit of scale creep from 6th edition to Age of Sigmar. It's about twice as big now, but at least he can still fit somewhat okay on a 25mm base. And lastly, we have even more Exalted Heroes of Chaos. First one is Kagra from Kagra's Ravagers, which I gave a head swap because I didn't want to have any helmets showing. So I gave this one is from the Start Collecting box, the Chaos Knights. I had a spare head left over there. The middle one is sort of a Slambo, so I guess that's what I'm calling him, also from Kagra's Ravagers. And the third one to the right there is from Avatars of War in metal. And that's my Warriors of Chaos army. I didn't really talk much about the color scheme choice here, so I guess I'll do that now. I was considering between, the classical black armor and beige cloaks, but I felt that I like painting armor. I want them to look like they are actually wearing lots of armor rather than just being, painted black. So I simply went with a very dark gray base coat, and then I did 2 layers of gunmetal over that to give them a dark armor color. Then just gave them a black wash pretty much all over. And for the cloaks, I decided to go with a very dark red because I felt that the beige color is just another brown color and it makes them not really stand out much at all. It's already a very, very dark looking army. So the amounts of red here does give them a little bit more variety and make them more fun to look at. Anyway, that's all I had to show for today. This is the last of my painted armies for now. Next up will be my Sisters of Battle army, which I'm planning on having finished sometime in February. So stay tuned for that. Cheers.